Hello. Hope you guys like that transition. We have something very important to discuss today. I don't know why I did that. I thought it would look cool or scarier. Guys, oh my gosh, today is a great day. It is raining out. I love rain so much. I love rain. I'm like in here, got my fan going, so I'm cold, but I like it because I get to look at the rain, and that's great. And then I get all really, really cold, and then I put my blanket on, and oh, it's just awesome. But today, guys, I'm so excited. Not just because of the rain, although we all know rain is amazing. I'm rambling on. I am super excited about today's video because I'm going to be busting 10 myths about magicians, about how we work, just about everything involved in that. This is going to be a super exciting video. Make sure to watch to the end to see the most important myth. And let's get into the first myth. So the first myth is actually one that you guys probably aren't expecting. Maybe you are. The first myth is that magicians on YouTube only use editing and camera tricks and visual effects to do their tricks. I know that you guys are probably, a lot of you might be wondering this. I've seen comments on other magicians' channels where a lot of people accuse them, obviously you're just editing. And here's the honest truth. With YouTube, I understand with AI and all of the different things, it's getting to the point that it's hard to tell, is it real? Is it AI? Is it visual effects? And editing is a really cool craft where you can make things look like it's in the video when it's in reality it's not. However, the truth is, I can't speak for everyone, because there is some magicians, even like Zach King, a lot of it is just visual effects, or he actually has actors and he has special rooms made. A lot of that is not really just skill, right? Even some of the famous celebrities are all just skill. Even taking like David Copperfield, he had this stunt where he made the Statue of Liberty disappear. Do you want to know how it was done? It was all staged. He had actors. They just cut to where he had the Statue of Liberty, and then they cut to where they had the platform they were on in a completely different spot, and there was no Statue of Liberty. And it looked amazing, and people were blown away, and people watching on TV were like, oh my gosh, how did he make the moon just disappear? But in reality, it was just staging, it was just actors. Unless I make a video saying this is going to be 5 video magic tricks or 5 tricks that are great for videos, I will not do a visual effect that's like editing and not tell you guys and make you think it's real. I will never on my channel do that. Mark my words. I will be 100% honest with you guys. So, short answer, that myth is busted depending on the person. But for me, I do not just use editing. On to myth number 2. Alright, so myth number 2 is that you need, and you can only blow people's minds if you have expensive props or if you buy magic tricks. Immediately, that is a myth busted. The answer is no. And I'm going to give you an example of my example. When I started learning magic tricks 4 years ago, the very first thing that I did was I searched on YouTube easy magic tricks with items at home. I learned how to make a match disappear. I learned how to make a card that was selected appear face up in the deck. I learned how to make an apple change color. And all of these things having to do with nothing that you had to buy. Some of them just use a deck of cards, and others maybe something that you had to make, but it was never something you couldn't make at home. So that is a myth busted. Let's move on to myth number 3. Okay, so myth number 3 is that magic is all about and only about fast hands. You think of magicians, you think of being able to instantly do something, making something appear, disappear, change places. And especially, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, with a lot of video magic that people are doing with visual effects, it does look instantaneous. But if you're doing magic for people in real life, yes, you can learn some moves that are quick, some gimmicks that are made do effects really quick. However, in reality, most of magic is not about being fast at doing it. It's about angles, it's about covering it up, and most importantly, in a lot of things, it's about misdirection. Whether you're doing something else, waving your hands, or like drawing their attention to something else, or whether it's in what you're telling them, the jokes you're saying, it's about your being able to distract them if needed, even in what you say. So the simple truth is that is another myth busted. The answer is no, it's not only about quick hands. Now, going along the same lines of we talked about if you need fast hands, that leads right into myth number 4, which is you need big hands. Now, this is something really interesting because when I was first starting learning magic, when I first started a couple years ago, I thought the same thing. I thought what a lot of you guys are thinking. Again, I've seen this on other channels where people have commented, well, I'd love to do this move, but I have tiny hands. Or the opposite, I'd love to do this move, but I have huge hands. Here's the truth. Nothing can stop you from doing a move. There's a magician with no hands. He performed on Penn and Teller, and he fooled them. If you don't know, Penn and Teller are some famous magicians that are, I don't want to say they're old, but they're old. They know almost every trick in the book. For a magician with no hands to be able to go, and he performed a very simple trick that they knew the secrets of how normally it's done, and he blew their minds with his own method, and that was with no hands. So if someone can do it with no hands, you can do it with small hands, you can do it with big hands. When I was little, I started when I was 10. I had small hands too. I couldn't palm cards necessarily, but I learned another technique called invisible palming. So you can always find a workaround, whether it's learning the trick with your hand size or even learning a different way to do that. The answer is no, you don't need big hands or fast hands. It's all about your personality and also working around the tricks that you may or may not be able to do, how they do it. Now this next one is pretty interesting, and maybe you guys haven't thought of this, but I know as a magician, I've had a couple people mention this to me before when I'm performing, is now that I'm a magician and I'm learning these tricks and I know all the secrets to them, are they still impressive to me? And the answer is yes, 100%. I was talking to someone the other day and I was telling him how sometimes the method behind the trick is actually more impressive than what the trick looks like when you perform it. So I would say that that's a huge myth busted. The tricks are cool to see, but sometimes they're even cooler to see the methods behind, because that shows the creator what their mind is like. It's incredible to see some of the creations that they could come up with. So definitely no for that. Okay, so myth number 6 is one that I have to say I'm guilty and that I've done before, which is that you shouldn't perform a move until it's perfect. Now, the funny thing is I've done both ends of this. When I first started doing magic, I would learn the secret to a trick, practice it like twice, and I would immediately perform it for my family. I don't recommend that. That's a good way to reveal all your secrets, and even nowadays when I show them a trick that I don't mess up, because they know all of those methods from messing up those ones, they can kind of figure it out. So I don't recommend that. Don't do the opposite. Don't practice a trick so much and so long that you never perform it, or that it takes forever. You want to practice, you want to get good, but you also have to remember that part of the learning of tricks is messing up. That's part of how you grow as a magician and as a person, and that also leads into the next myth, which is that magicians don't make mistakes. This is one of the biggest ones that I really want to key in on, because I know some of you are probably learning these tricks or trying to learn the ones that I teach you, and I really want you to understand that you're not expected to be perfect. When you see a magician on YouTube doing it, we only give the good ones most of the time, right? Generally, there's not showing any of our mess ups or how many times we have to try, or especially how long it took us to learn the move. But the truth is, it took us a lot of time for most of these tricks, and we messed up a lot of times. So those are both myths. Both myths are busted, and don't forget that. Keep practicing. It's okay to make mistakes. That's how you're going to grow and you're going to get better. But really quick, going along with that, something else is that a lot of magicians always ask me, like, oh, how many tricks do you know? Guys, we forget the tricks that we learn. I'm going to be honest, I learned so many tricks within the first like 2 years of me learning magic tricks. I mean, I was on YouTube every day. You're not going to remember all of the tricks you learned, but for the record, we do forget our tricks as well. It just happens. Okay, this next one you're probably going to laugh at, but it's a big thing. When I say magic tricks, I go to a table and I'm like, oh, hello, can I perform for your kid? And they're like, okay. And guess what happens? I start performing, and the adults do this. They look at me, they say, okay, then I start performing, they go like this and go on their phone, and they don't watch. Now, it's not because they're impressed or because they don't think it's going to be cool. It's because humans and just people generally think magic tricks are for kids, period. When you look up magic tricks, most of it is like magic sets for kids that you can buy online and stuff. And I do understand that kids are the most impressed. However, this is not a rule, and this certainly is not true. That is a huge myth busted. Anyone can be a magician if you practice hard enough. It's not just for kids. Anyone can amaze people, and ultimately, it's super fun to do regardless of your age. So that is a huge myth busted, and personally, I'm offended that anyone would think that. But, you know, now you know. Okay guys, this next one is one of the most important ones, and this is one that you can actually test. Let me know in the comments below if this works, but there's a myth that you cannot subscribe within 10 seconds. You guys have 10 seconds, so make it quick, but I'm pretty sure this might be a myth. Make sure it doesn't work or it works, and let me know what happens. See if you can subscribe. You got about, I don't know, 3 seconds left, and I believe the time's out. You'll see it on screen, but hopefully that one worked. On to the last and the most important myth. Okay, this last one, I actually went and ordered these how I wanted them, and this was the one I wanted to put at the end to really sink it into, guys. And that is myth number 10, that magicians are born with their skills or with their talents, or they start learning and they get it within like a minute. Immediately, I want to say that this is a huge myth and that is busted. It takes years of practice to build up your personality for it, to learn some conversational stuff that you can say, as well as just to learn an arsenal of tricks, how to perform them, how to deal with hecklers, how to add comedy if you want into your routines. There's so many factors. There's so many factors into being a magician, more than just learning a trick. And even specifically with learning tricks, it is not something you pick up overnight. It is true that the longer you're a magician, somewhat the easier it will be to learn tricks because you'll know more methods. Your hands will be used to doing different stuff. We call it muscle memory, where you can do the same move without even looking after a while. But again, it takes practice. As a magician, practice is our favorite word, and least favorite because we have to do it, but favorite because that is how we perform. That is how we get good at the tricks. And without practice, we simply could not do any of the stuff, whether in person or on YouTube or on video or anywhere. It just simply is not possible. So that is a huge myth busted. And I really want to tell you, if you're becoming a magician or you're trying to learn these tricks, don't give up. Keep going. Practice. Watch these videos. I hope you're enjoying them and that they're teaching you something, because ultimately, whether you're a magician or you're just someone that thinks it's interesting, just seeing a magician, I hope you're enjoying regardless. But I really want you guys, those of you who are trying to learn, to know some of the things that I wish I had learned, and most importantly, how to grow as a magician. And this is a huge one. It can get discouraging, or it can be discouraging sometimes when you try a move and you're not getting it, or something like that. But just keep going, keep practicing. I can't stress it enough. And truly, that myth is so busted. We aren't born with talent. It takes practice. It took me 4 years to get to the point where I'm at, and I'm still learning. I'm still practicing. I'm still learning new tricks, and really still growing as a person and as a magician. So keep it going, guys. Don't give up. And for sure, that myth is busted. Alrighty guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this type of content. This was something that was really fun to make. I really enjoyed thinking these up, thinking how I was going to show them, and really just keying in on some of the important ones. If you guys want me to do another 10 myths to bust, go ahead and get this video to 50 likes, guys. I know we can do it, but it took me a while to think this up. So if you guys want to see another one, show me that you liked it. And please comment down below if any of these helped you, if any of these you had been wondering, or just comment below anything about this video, really. And most importantly, if this helped you, because that's really why I made this video. It was fun to make, but it was for you guys. And I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that it helped you some, or it's going to help you some. And of course, if you guys enjoyed, you know the gist. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, really punch that subscribe button. We're getting close to 500. Let's keep the growing going. Like I said, that's going to be it for today's video. But if you guys want to check out the first video in a master course that I have, we've just done 4 episodes so far, but the first one goes over crowd handling and presentation, more skills you'll need to learn. If you want to check that out, go ahead and click this video right here. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone. I love you all and have a wonderful day. Ciao.